Hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and in today's video, this is my Inside Out 2 spoiler review, so without further ado, let's discuss. Alright guys, so as I just said, this is my Inside Out 2 spoiler review, and I saw this earlier today with my parents, but this is coming out a week after the movie comes out. And guys, this is a movie that you need to see in the big screen. If you haven't seen it already. I love this. I'm wearing my Pixar shirt for this review. But what I love, I'm gonna get into this a little bit in a couple minutes. But I saw this with my parents. Great movie to go see with their parents. And I don't know if it's going to be on my top 10 of the year yet. I really hope it is, but I can't wait for The Wild Robot, which is something else that this film and that film are going to be competing on my animated films for the year. But could both be in the list. But anyway, the score in this, I was kind of let down that Michael Giacchino wasn't returning. I didn't even know till the day of that I was looking up the score for this, and I was like, where's Michael Giacchino? He's not involved. They used the Inside Out theme motif from the original, from the first film. But Michael Giacchino is credited at the end for using the theme. But Andrea Datzman is the composer for this, who is a score coordinator for Inside Out 1 and other Pixar films. So I was like, okay, it's fine. It was a good score. I liked it. I'm going to have to listen to it a bunch more to actually warm up to it. But it's not one that jumps out at me. This film does a better job of being a Pixar, of being... It's a good score as opposed to Guardians 3, where I just didn't think... I thought there were some good things in Guardians 3, but Guardians 3 didn't feel like it was a good Guardians score as it was like the first two Guardians. It just felt a discontinuation, a disjointed film. However, I liked this one. I liked how this film felt more like Inside Out than Guardians felt like Guardians. My own personal opinion. You might feel different. That's my comparison. Anyway, let's continue that. I do think that this is Pixar's rejuvenation year. This is a return to form for Pixar. Many people are saying that, but I said it when Monsters at Work came out. I said, guys, this Monsters at Work series, I didn't think the first Monsters at Work season was kind of like meh, but where Pixar has been for the past few years, I don't even remember when Monsters at Work season 1 came out. It might have came out like COVID, July 7th, 2021. So, 2021... it's a good time, but I still don't think, because 2022 was the year that, well, I guess Soul had come out then, and Luke, I guess, came out then, but I still kind of thought Monsters at Work was kind of, okay, this is fine, but now in 2022, I with firm belief can tell you that Monsters at Work Season 2 is great. We either need a third one or a movie. Maybe not a movie, but a third season to talk about Boo a little bit more. Like, hey, what's going on with Boo? Have a third season, kind of to wrap it up. Because I don't feel like season 2 really had a end finale note. But if we do a third season, maybe we could wrap up the Monsters universe, or wrap up that Monsters Inc. universe. Because, they're still the university. But I still feel like we could do a third season, and this... I'm getting off track here on Inside Out, but Inside Out felt a return to form for Pixar from all these movies. I like Turning Red, but Elemental wasn't for me. I liked it, but I like Turning Red more just because of the parents and the singing and the panda intrigued me. But the parents and the friends, and going along with that, this is a great continuation and great sequel. There's not a lot of that. There's only Incredibles, and as I walked out of the theater, I heard somewhere that we're not getting an Inside Out 3, and I was like, it feels like we could. I feel like the two things that we do not need Finding Nemo 3. We don't need a Cars 4. We don't need a freaking Toy Story 5. What we do need is things like Inside Out 3 and Incredibles 3, because those are things that we can finish a trilogy, and then we can do original sequels. Or original movies, Original movies. I'm curious to see how Elio does. That was supposed to come out this year, but now it's coming out next year, and Inside Out 2 became the 28th film, and now Elio is going to be the 29th film. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Based upon our promos for Elio, it doesn't look all that intriguing to me. But this is a great movie. And the new characters and emotions work really well for me. As we know from the trailers and as I know from seeing the movie, we have anxiety, envy, ennui, which is the boredom and embarrassment. And let me tell you something. I'm not let down by this movie at all, but it bums me out that embarrassment was Paul Walker Hauser. And Paul Walter Hauser was embarrassment, and he's from Cobra Kai, right? I was really looking forward to hear voice lines from him, and he has like one voice line. He always goes, "Hoo, hoo," puts the hood over his head. It's hilarious, but he barely has any lines. He's just voicing like, "Hoo, hoo, hoo." He's just kind of doing like little sounds and one voice line at the end of the movie. So I kind of thought that was funny. We have Lisa LaPera taking over as Disgust, and Tony Hale taking over as Fear. Love Tony Hale. He was Forky in Toy Story 4, which I didn't really know him at the time, but then he was in the Mysterious Benedict Society show, which I watched him from. He's great in that and other things as well. And it's just great seeing these new emotions. Maya Hawke is embarrassed, as anxiety, and Ayo Edebiri as Envy. Love her in Spider-Verse as April O'Neil in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And she's also in The Bear, which I haven't seen The Bear, but I've heard great things. So she's just a great person. She was in Spider-Verse. She's actually the one girl. She's actually Gwen's friend from her universe named Glory, who's playing the drums. She's the African-American girl who goes, yo, are you okay? So anyway, that's who she plays. So I got it wrong. But anyway, I like that character. I like these new... I like the actors that bring these new emotions character. That was kind of a weird way to phrase it. Apologies. But the story and the new animation is something I want to talk about. There's new animation in this movie where in the trailer you see the main 5 emotions get put in a jar, bottle them up, and they're suppressed emotions, right? So while they're in the mine, they get taken to this place called the Vault. They're in the mine. They're not in headquarters anymore. And they're in this place called the Vault. And they meet these 3 new characters. One called Bloofy, which is like a take on Blue's Clues, that has like this pouch, like backpack from Dora the Explorer. It's like, pouchy! And this other character, a video game character called Lance Reddick, or Lance Slashblade. Lance Reddick is an actor who's dead from John Wick. Whoopsie. From Lance Slashblade. And then another character called the Big Dark Secret. And we meet the Big Dark Secret again on our post-credit scene, which I'll tell you in a minute. And I'll tell you at the end of the video. But then we see Lance Slashblade like talking with Envy, like, ooh, there's a little connection there. And then we get the Big Dark Secret just breaks the jar for them. And Pouchy, or the Bloofy is like, well, Pouchy, do you have anything to share with us? And do you have anything to get out of this vault? I have 3 items. This, and dynamite. And it's always dynamite is the last thing to help out of the situation. And it's like, dynamite got him out of the vault. And Lance Slashblade is like, I'm gonna defeat the police, the little mine police. And he just rolls, and this whole like Rube Goldberg machine just takes him out and pushes them inside the vault. It's so clever, and I love it. The writing in this movie is great. I just love the new animation from like the video game characters. The Bloofy, Big Dark Secret would come back in the post-credit scene. I'll tell you more about him. But I gotta tell you about when I cried and why. So Riley's at camp at this hockey camp, and with her friends, and her friends are going to a new high school or new school, college, right? They graduate, or they just graduated from middle school, so they're going to high school. My apologies. She graduated. She's going to high school, and so they're going to a new high school. She's going to hockey camp, 3 days away from her parents, and it's kind of irrelevant, but 3 days away from her parents. And she meets this new girl who's high up on the hockey team that is on another hockey team, the Firehawks is what it's called. So I just saw it. The team is called the Firehawks. And so there's this high up girl on the Firehawks with a red streak in her hair. So then Riley puts in a red streak in her hair. And her 2 friends that are going to a new school are like kind of like upset, like worried about her. And when Riley's playing hockey, she gets an anxiety attack because anxiety and and the other emotions have taken over her mind, and joy and the other emotions are the mind trying to go back, trying to figure out this whole plan. By the way, the sarcasm thing was brilliant. Love the sarcasm, love the brainstorm, but anxiety is taken over, has this whole plan, and trying to plan out things, which in reality is a useful emotion. All the emotions have to work together, but she's taking charge, and anxiety is not one of those emotions to take charge. You have to consult with emotions, consult with your anxiety, work through it. So she has an anxiety attack, and I was crying through that because I was like, I've actually been through anxiety attacks, and I've actually lost some friends throughout my life, throughout high school, in college, and not friends from home, but friends are a big part of my life. And this movie really tugged at my heartstrings because of that. I mean, I love Turning Red because of everything it deals with, from the parents to the friends, but this film, just everything about it screamed my childhood. Now, I'm not a girl, but that's the same thing about Turning Red. I'm not a girl. But what the first film does and what this film does, hand in hand, scream positive, like just all out, like huge, like relation, like anybody can relate to this film, to the first one and this one, and I can say that I do. Like I said, I'm not a girl, but it's not like Turning Red. It screams a lot more female related content, whereas this one does not. It just has emotions in it. I know it's a girl growing up, but it doesn't say, hey, you look, there's your pads, you're having a period. It's not that. It's saying, here's your emotions, anxiety is important, and you're supposed to share, or, emotions are supposed to work together. And one of my favorite things, one of the best scenes, okay, I love the video game character. I love when they're in the room and the new characters come in. By the way, Nostalgia was a hilarious character to include, by the way. That was 30 seconds ago, Nostalgia. But another moment when I cried was when not just when she's having the anxiety attack, and not just at the end of the movie, but I have to elaborate, I have to say another moment. When Joy says, I don't have a plan, like, it's so hard to stay positive all the time. All you guys do is complain and complain and complain. But then they lose their only way back through the recall tube, through the tube to get back, right? And she's sitting on this pile of bad memories. And the three other emotions, fear, disgust, and anger, come up to her like, what do we do? And she's like, maybe this is what happens. Maybe she's not supposed to feel joy anymore. And I cried. I teared up. Because I felt something I never felt before. I was like, dang. If I could swear on this channel. Dang it. Like, that is something I have felt. It's something that I'm going to admit right now. I have felt that. I have felt like when I've had those days where I just haven't felt joy, right? And it's the thing you got to move past. You have to express all your emotions. I felt sad before. There are days where I just flat out cried. I mean, the first Inside Out I thought was sad, but I've had those days where I've just cried. And I realized that this film, it's okay to cry. I mean, I've cried at other films before, like Spider-Verse I thought was sad, There are films I thought, okay, this is sad. But this showed me, like, anxiety attacks. I've had anxiety attacks before. Like, this really hits hard with all your emotions. Like, if you lose joy, but it's okay to have all these emotions working hand in hand. And then when Joy's like, no, I need to get back there. Like the first film, I need to get back there. Like, sadness is back. Embarrassment and helps sadness. And anxiety's like, nope, sadness, stay out of the way. This is my plan. But the conclusion, like, anxiety is spinning up like a twister, and joy helps anxiety stop doing what she's doing. And then at the end, she helps anxiety just sit back and relax on a comfy chair, as I just cracked my back. But I loved how all the emotions work together at the end. And she has this, like, brain thing in her mind. And Joy has this own brain thing, like her real self. And anxiety is trying to make another one with all these strands. and it's not right. So all the other emotions besides anxiety, because she's spinning in this twister, take the brain out. And it's such clever writing. I was crying at the end. I cried at her anxiety, at Riley's anxiety attack. I was crying at what Joy said about maybe she doesn't need Joy anymore. But I was like, God, it's so deep. And I know that firsthand because sometimes I've had those times where like I feel like I'm going to lose friends. I've lost people and I don't know what to do. But I do have great friends out there from school, from here at home, that care about me. And I care about them. And that in this film it says friends are forever. And the two friends from high school that are going to a different high school, from graduation that are going to a different high school in the movie, stay in touch with her. But she keeps the friends that she made the team with, that Riley makes the team with. And at the end, you don't know if she made the team, but that she stays with the Firebirds, the Firehawks. And then at the end of the movie, you see a smile on her face, like, does she make the team? So that's kind of the future, like the conclusion, like where's it going? Maybe there's a third one, maybe not. So I really hope that there is. I've heard rumors that there is, so I'm very interested to see where this goes. And at the end, we see we said a mid credits and an end credits, and the first one is her dinner with her parents. She's like, the mom says, "How was camp?" And she goes, "It was good." Ungmi makes her say, "It was good." It's like 3 days, and all we get is good. So I loved it. I love that. And then the dad's like, 3 days, all we get is good. And both parents, anxiety pops up, said, all we get is good. So, and then the dad just goes back to watching football. But my final rating on this is a 9 out of 10, guys. This is a 9 out of 10 film for me. Inside Out 2, definite win for Pixar. I cannot wait for what happens at Pixar. I need Incredibles 3, Inside Out 3, Elio. I don't know if that'll be a theater watch, but we'll have to wait and see for that. So anyway, guys, that's my review for Inside Out 2. Oh, I forgot to say that last credit scene. Dude, I almost got so mad. The post-credit scene was the big dark secret. The big dark secret was Riley once burned a hole in the rug, and Joy said, "Oh, I thought it was going to be the time that you peed in the pool." And he's like, No, I'm going back in the vault. that was it. So I was like, great callback from earlier in the film. So I loved it. Loved Inside Out 2. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know what you thought in the comments below of Inside Out 2. By the way, stay tuned for more this summer. I've got Doctor Who coming up next week. Be sure you stay tuned for my Doctor Who review coming next week, and more to come later this summer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, watch stuff. Peace out, everyone. Bye.